Cartier and Islamic Art. Hi, I'm Samira, entrepreneur, artist, and designer. Follow me to learn more about Islamic and Silk Road textiles, dress history, art, Afghanistan history and culture, Orientalism, beauty, fashion, humanitarian issues, and much more. Before we dive into this, let's talk about Orientalism. What is it? For a period of about 800 years, the Islamic world experienced a golden age. The world saw some of the greatest empires flourish, and with it, exquisite new styles of art, architecture, and textiles. Between the 18th and 19th centuries, Europeans, especially the British and the French, were fascinated by Islamic culture. They actively studied Muslim, read from their book, took from their culture. They copied Islamic and Eastern styles of dress, turbans, veils, gowns, banyans, smoking jackets, cashmere shawls, muslin dresses, textiles, military dress, tiaras, pantaloon pants later named bloomers, bathing, perfumes, makeup, and so much more. European Orientalist painters borrowed Islamic themes, textiles, and subjects in art. Blue lapis lazuli from Badakhshan, Afghanistan, had transformed European art. By the 20th century, artists such as Picasso and Matisse used Oriental and Eastern African inspiration in their work. Matisse was inspired by Islamic miniature paintings. Then French fashion designer Paul Poiret ushered in a new era of Orientalism in fashion. He laid the foundation for Coco Chanel's modernist fashion and her soft, easy line. Europeans were also fascinated by the ballet russe, Scheherazade, and turban-style outfits. The removal of the corset, as a result of adopting Eastern and Islamic dress, changed the way jewelry was made. Then there was Cartier, established in 1847 by Louis-François Cartier. His son Alfred took over the business, and then Alfred's three sons grew the business on an international luxury scale. The younger brother Jacques traveled the Eastern world, and he collected Islamic art. And then Louis amassed a collection of Islamic art from about the 1910s onward, because at that time, Islamic lands were becoming more fragmented, broken up into nation states due to European imperialism. So very valuable art and textiles found their way from Islamic countries and lands to London and Paris. Okay, in part 2, I'm going to talk about Cartier and Islamic art exhibit, and let's look at these exquisite pieces of jewelry that was inspired by Islamic art. Cartier and Islamic art, part 2. Now let's talk about how Islamic art influenced Cartier's jewelry designs. The exhibition Cartier and Islamic Art explores how Islamic art inspired Cartier. The exhibit was shown in Paris about February of 2022, then made its way to Dallas Museum of Art. The curators for both exhibits chose jewelry from the Cartier collection that have Islamic art motifs. The result is over 500 items, jewels, objects, drawings, books, photograph, archival document, forms, motifs, pattern, art, architecture, and objects of Islamic art. Palmettes, arabesque pattern, tassels and scroll, Iznik Turkish tiles, and stepped or terraced merlons, inspired by Central Asian architecture, which became a defining form and shape of Art Deco. Now let's take a look at some of the pieces from the exhibit. This gold, platinum, and diamond feather headband was made in 1924 and similar to turban ornament. This is a pink gold enamel, black onyx cigarette case. You can see the Islamic vegetal motif on it, Mughal Indian style jewelry. This powder box that copies Islamic architecture, tiaras. This design, which as you can clearly see, copies this Persian box. Here's some others. Obviously, I can't show all 500 pieces, but this gives you an idea just how much Islamic influence you could see in these designs. There's, I believe, a Paul Poiret clothing design. What Cartier also did was mix jade, lapis, and turquoise colors, which was already being done for so many years in Islamic lands, but it was new and avant-garde in the West in the early 20th century. This was referred to as Cartier's peacock decoration. Again, combining these greens and blues inspired by Moroccan earthenware. And as you can see in this design, he took turquoise from mines in Iran and blue lapis lazuli from Afghanistan to create this geometric design. So I wish I could go over all the pieces. As you can see, they're so beautiful, especially the ones that are inspired by Islamic architecture like the Alhambra Masjid in Spain. Maybe I'll do that in future videos. But as you can see from this exhibit and the photos that I've shown you, Islamic art and geometry fueled 20th century modernism and Art Deco through geometry, form, patterns, and color combinations. What do you think? Did Cartier appropriate Islamic art? Like and follow for more.